We're here to talk about inspecting, possibly purchasing, and moving a Cincinatti #2 tool and cutter grinder. Okay, you want to get down for a minute? A little bit disappointed. It's cold outside. She couldn't go squirrel hunting, but maybe a little later today. Okay. Now, let's see. Get all this junk out of my pockets. Now, the table rolls on these ball bearings, 3/4 inch ball bearings, 2 of them. You put them in your hand, go like that, and you wonder who stole your strawberries. Well, now since the table rides on these, I think there's 48, 24 on each side, or 44, 22 on each side, I think it is. So this heavy table's riding on these ball bearings. So if you're checking one of these out, you want to make sure that the table works smoothly. The full, the full travel. You can see the full travel here, and the full travel there. Now, the table will go further so you can get to the locks that keep the table from flipping off somehow. And when you do that, it like crowds the rack of bearings, and you can feel it. You can bump it like this. It feels like it stops, but see, it bumps forward. Then when you pull it back the other way, you're going to have to bump that row of bearings back. See it? A little bit, see? Okay, just how it works. So it's good to get those, the racks, the bearing and the ladders lined up so they go the full travel, just like that. And then feel it. At, just about any place. And if there's damage, you'll feel a bump, and that's bad. You don't want that machine. It's too hard to fix. And I'll show you how to prevent that. Now, these things are pretty robust, but they can be damaged, like a really bad truck ride or a bad drop from a forklift. Stuff happens to machinery, and so you want to think about that. So I'm going to show you, don't lose my Magnum Sharpie. I'm going to show you what to do. And I'll get the camera off here. And let's look underneath. How you doing there? Actually doing good. Okay, let's get a light on under here. Yeah. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. So what you do when you want to move the thing is you get in the toolbox and you search for giant monkey wrench. No, there it is, a tire iron. And what we'll do is get that tire iron, kind of right about there, and whoop. I'm going to lock the table so it doesn't move. That's about right. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to pop the table. I'm going to start prying the table up, and you can maybe see it. See, it goes that far. You can see the rack there. And I'm actually tilting this thing a little bit. Okay, so what you want to do is get a bar in there, and then put a wedge right there. I'll set the camera down, and maybe you can see how it sits in the toolbox, and I'll get that wedge in there. I don't know. We'll try that. Let's see. Got that in there. So I'm going to lift that up, and I got to get it over a little bit. It's not easy to do. And I might have done it from this side. I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, there we go. So I got a wedge under there. And get one under here and just stuff the thing full of wood and get that table off those ball bearings. In the manual, they tell you to totally remove the table. But if you're buying one of these things at an auction and stuff like that, it takes a couple people and it takes time. This is all you have to do, stuff it from both sides with wood. And there's that catch that works on the rack to keep the table from flying off. Stuff it with wood and then bind it around here with straps to kind of suck it back down so nothing bounces. Okay. Now, one of the worst problems I had was finding a decent workhead. And I've been through a few of them before I found this. And what happens is people with good intentions possibly needlessly take these things apart. And they have Timken Type 0 spindle bearings. And if you take this apart, a dividing head apart, Brown & Sharp's got the same bearings in it. The vertical head here has a pair of Type 0 spindle bearings in that quill. You don't want to take those apart and clean them. It's really a bad idea unless it's absolutely necessary. And then at that point, it's probably, they're destroyed. So that was really a problem for me. And one of the things that helped me was I bought this from a good machine tool dealer, and he worked with me for quite some time until we got a really good head on this. And I paid him, you know. But back when I got this machine, these things were really expensive. And this is really an old machine. It's out of Hanford, nuclear weapons research. 1942 is its vintage. Let's get around over here. Let me show you something. Okay. We'll get down in here and look at the motor. It's kind of neat. Here's the big round column here, right up there. There's the motor there. And you can adjust it, adjust the belt here. Now this belt here is linen. It's really old, and it's got belt dressing on it to keep it from unraveling. You can see it's unraveling now. I'll have to put some more dressing on it, which what I'm using is gasket cinch, which is also a gasket dressing. Works pretty good. This thing's got an industrial motor, 1/3 horsepower, and it's got 2 speeds. And I got it at the low speed here, and it seems like that's around 5,000 or something. It's really pretty fast. Maybe it's not that fast. I'll have to check it out. But the big pulley here really drives it faster than I really need to. So I'm probably running it slower. I've run this thing so long I can't remember all that much. But I need to adjust that belt a little bit. I think it's slipping on me. But you just loosen these 2 bolts, and it's got this gear rack here to do that. Let's see if you get on there. Yeah, see, this is kind of a gearbox here for the lift on that thing. Yeah, my electrical could be better. I'll deal with that. I've been saying that for years. I was looking here. I put new motor bearings in 1998. And I think I bought this thing in about 1992. So I've had it for a really long time. Now, to properly sling these things, you put big rods through here through these holes. You have to get in the manual. We just always picked it up with a forklift and strapped it and all kinds of stuff to be careful the thing doesn't, tip over. But I always, when I move it, I generally remove the table, but I always at least stuff it, Somebody put this little wipers here with felt. I guess it helps. There's one on the other side. I took it off to show you about prying it up. So, I don't know what to say. It's hard to tell how good a grinder is without using it. But maybe this is a start anyway. Show you how to move it. Okay, thanks.